What you're looking at is what happens when something is left too long without attention. By the time you can see it on the surface, the breakdown has already been happening underneath. It didn't fail all at once. It gave way slowly, over time, until what once held structure could no longer support itself. At first, it's small, easy to ignore, something you think you can work around, but left alone it spreads. Weakness compounds, and eventually, what looks stable on the outside is no longer holding beneath the surface. And once it reaches that point, there's no saving it as it is. You can't build on something that's already failing. It has to be broken down, removed. Because anything weak left in place doesn't disappear. It stays underneath, and over time it shows up again. But this part is quick. You break it down, you clear it out, you remove what no longer holds, and then you move on. Because the real work starts here. Now you're rebuilding. And rebuilding takes a different kind of attention. Not force, but precision. Not speed, but consistency. You're not just covering what was there. You're creating something new that actually holds, layer by layer, making sure it bonds, making sure it sets, taking your time with it, not rushing the process, not skipping steps, not cutting corners, because this part determines everything that comes after. If it's done right, it holds. If it's rushed, it fails. And most of the time, failure doesn't come from not knowing what to do. It comes from not taking the time to do it right, from trying to move forward before the foundation is ready. And this doesn't just apply to a wall. It applies to everything. Your habits, your routines, the systems you live inside, even the structures that govern daily life. When something is built on weak foundations, it doesn't matter how strong it looks on the surface. Over time, it breaks down. And when that happens, the answer isn't to keep patching over it. It's to step back, recognize what's no longer holding, and rebuild it properly. Because rebuilding without clearing what's broken just repeats the same outcome. And this applies at every level. Even in government, when systems are built on weak foundations, they don't collapse all at once. They show cracks. They strain. They get patched over again and again. But if the foundation is never addressed, the same problems return. And over time, those small cracks become visible to everyone. At that point, the question isn't whether something is wrong, it's whether it will keep being patched, or finally rebuilt the right way. Because the principle doesn't change. Break it down, clear it out, then build it back, right? Because what you build on determines how long it lasts. If you're building mindset and perception development, stick with me.